Hi there! In this video, I'm going to talk about how our brains work by patterns of associations. It's super interesting, so be sure to stay till the end. I'm Hanna. I'm a Christian brain rewiring coach helping people reverse chronic symptoms with neuroplasticity so they can eat what they want, go where they want, and do what they want without restrictions. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video every single Tuesday. So our brains work by patterns of associations, like I said. So if we have a positive experience with a thing, place, or person, then our brain creates a positive association with it. This is because you start having positive thoughts about it, which leads to positive emotions. So let's go over a few examples. Let's just say you go to a beach with your family and you have tons of fun. It's a great experience and you have a variety of positive thoughts and emotions. Then your brain remembers this and labels this place as a great experience, creating a positive association. And so let's go over another example. Let's just talk about a person here. So let's say you meet a new friend for coffee. She's super friendly to you. She gives you a couple of compliments and you had a lot of fun with her. Because you had lots of positive thoughts and emotions while being with her, your brain creates a positive association. So this also happens with objects. For example, let's just say you drink coffee and it gives you energy for the entire day. You had a really positive experience, with your thoughts and emotions around that coffee. Therefore, your brain created a positive association. Okay, I think you get it. So when your brain creates positive associations with something or someone, you have a desire to do it again and again, or you desire to be with that person again. This is how also addiction develops. You feel good from something like food or alcohol, you get that dopamine and serotonin boost, and then you want to do it again. So except with addiction, it's more of an extreme extent, and what you really want to do with that is create a negative association to that thing so you stop doing it, right? So it's super interesting. So that's how our brain creates positive associations. But now let's talk about the opposite, how our brain creates negative associations with people, places, or things. So I'm going to give you a few examples of this as well. So let's just say you have a reaction to a certain food. For example, you eat a banana and you get bloated afterwards. Your brain then creates negative thoughts about it, such as, I'm going to be bloated all day. I wish I didn't eat that. The banana is bad. I'm never going to eat that again. Things like that. So then you start to feel the negative emotions towards it, and your brain labels it as bad, creating a negative association with it. Then what happens with a lot of people who have limbic system impairment is they avoid it and now think of the bloating whenever they see a banana or think about eating one. And that's an example of a negative association with an object. So now let's look at a person as an example. Let's just say someone lashed out in anger towards you or says a negative comment to you. Then you start having negative thoughts towards them, going, wow, they are so rude. I can't believe they said that to me. What is wrong with them? Blah, blah, blah. Now your brain creates a negative association with that person. So, and then in the future, whenever you see a picture of them on Facebook or you actually see them physically, you start thinking negatively about them almost automatically because you remember what they said. So this can also happen with places you had a bad experience with, such as certain buildings, if you react to cleaning supplies in Walmart or something like that, if you have sensitivities. So by now you should understand the difference between a negative and a positive association. When you have limbic system impairment, you want to start creating positive associations with things because when your brain has been affected by trauma and you have limbic system impairment, you have a lot of negative associations with a lot of things, people, places, experiences, things. And so we want to change that. Because that's going to initiate the stress response. You definitely want to change the association, especially with things that you want back in your life. So if you have sensitivities, you likely have a lot of negative associations with all the things you've been avoiding, whether it's EMF or Wi-Fi or mold or certain foods, certain smells or amounts of chemicals, small amounts of chemicals around like perfume. And so if you want these things back into your life, you'll have to change the way you perceive them because right now the limbic system is probably perceiving those things as a threat because of the bad experiences you've had and the negative thoughts and emotions you've had with them. So to start doing this, think about all the things, people, places you may have had a negative association with and write them down. Write them down and then write some positive things about them. For example, if it's a banana, you could put how they're actually healthy and nutritious. They have a lot of potassium, etc. If it's a person, you could list a lot of their positive qualities. Maybe you could list all of the positive memories you have with that person of the past, if it's somebody that you know well. So many people also have negative associations with their illness. Instead, try to write some positive things about it. Look at it as an opportunity to grow in the Lord and trust Him more. Maybe you get more time with God because you've been on the couch and you have that time. That's a blessing. That's a blessing that a lot of people don't have. So how can you really look at your illness as more positive? In our brain retraining program, Limbic System Rewire, we have everybody call their symptoms animals and just kind of create that positive association with them that way. And so yeah, so powerful. So really think about the benefits of the trial that you're in. Maybe you're able to help other people because you understand what they're going through. There's so many benefits of me going through my illness. It's not even funny. I would have never created Limbic System Rewire, the amazing program that's helping hundreds of people get their life back. So just think about the benefits of this trial. I mean, a lot of times God brings us through a trial to teach us something, to grow us and shape us and change our character and get us closer to Him. And so it's like there's a lot of benefits of it. I know that many people, they've created such a negative association with their symptoms, and every time the symptom comes, like, they have to get out of it and all this. But just know that, and if you're walking with God and you're in His will, that He's in control of everything and He will take care of you. So I think it's important to realize that our brains are also creating associations with what we see, feel, hear, touch, taste, and the memories we have, our five senses. So this is how we get triggered in our mind with negative thoughts and emotions. We see something, one of our five senses, we see something that reminds us of a trauma or stressor, and we start thinking about it. For example, you may see your husband eating a huge cheeseburger meal, and you may be thinking, how you've had sensitivities and how you wish you could have that. You get sad, and the trauma brain or someone who's been affected by limbic system impairment from lots of traumas and stressors will likely turn a lot of things into a negative. And think about the bad memories that are associated with that. And this is why we have to turn them into positives. So you can either, see your spouse eating a cheeseburger as a negative, wishing you could, blah, 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 frustrated that you can't. Or you could be happy for him and excited as he's enjoying it and eating it. So how we perceive things and whether or not or we think positively, negative, positive or negative about a person, a place, a thing, is up to us, and we can change how we perceive all this. And that's the good news through the power of neuroplasticity, because you may also see or hear something, something, information may come in through your five senses. You may see something, and for example, you may smell cookies and you think about how fun it used to be to bake cookies with your grandma. So our brains are always creating these associations with our memories. So our brains, like I said, take information through our five senses. So be sure to pay attention to when you're negatively triggered by something so you can redirect your mind to perceive it in a more positive way. So there you have it. There's all the information, and if you want to discover a natural 3-step system that can provide relief from food and environmental sensitivities without labs, supplements, or restricted diets, watch our free 60-minute masterclass that is linked below. Also, join our free Facebook group called Brain Rewiring for Health and Happiness if you'd like free tips every day from me. It's a great community of support. Godspeed and God bless.